Bitch, they tried to blow us the fuck up last night. They tried to get the French Quarters off the fucking map last night. So far, they found 4 bombs in the French Quarter, 1 inside of the St. Louis Cathedral. They were all in ice chests. And the reason why the man went driving up Bourbon Street, killing all those people, is because the bomb detonator malfunctioned. It gotta be like 5 or 6 of them, because they either blew up or set on fire the Airbnb where these niggas was staying at. They're not done. They're not fucking done. It's dawning on me right now that they tried to get us off the motherfucking map last night. They tried to get us the fuck out of here last night, y'all. New Orleans, like, what the fuck? Now, why are we in it? Why are we in it?
I'm Shamsuddin Jabbar, property manager with Blue Meadow Properties and team lead at the Midas Group at Core Realty. I just want to say hello and let you know a little bit about me. So I'm born and raised in Beaumont, Texas, and now live in Houston. And I've been here all my life, with the exception of traveling for the military, where I spent 10 years as a human resources specialist and IT specialist, where I learned the meaning of great service and what it means to be responsive and take everything seriously, dotting I's and crossing T's to make sure that things go off without a hitch. So I've taken those skills and applied them to my career as a real estate agent, where I feel like what really sets me apart from other agents is my ability to be able to, one, be a fierce negotiator. So not only do I brilliantly market your property to make sure it gets sold as quickly as possible or gets leased as quickly as possible, but I'm also going to take.
So apparently more information has come out about the New Orleans terrorist, Jabbar. So they're saying basically that it's actually really interesting. He was actually ex-military. He served in the military for over 10 years. He even he is an American citizen. Not just that, he was not a migrant. He, like they were saying, but no, he's actually a U.S. born Texas. He lives in Texas, ex-military, all this stuff, which is crazy. But they're saying it is related. It is a terrorist attack because he had an ISIS flag in the back of his car, and he was fully geared out with military gear. And they're also saying that he had converted to Islam in the past year. He also has a lot of issues with his ex-wives. Maybe he had his ex-wife, his most recent ex-wife, she had a restraining order against him, and then the last wife had claimed that she was abusive, which I don't know if that's confirmed since that was from TMZ, but she did mention he was abusive. So obviously he has some kind of abusive pattern, maybe not fully psychologically there, but and I think it was his ex-wife's, or someone, whatever, that knew him, mentioned that he had converted to Islam and quote was acting all crazy. So I don't know, honestly. I guess ISIS got him. This is really sad. They're saying over 15 people now that are confirmed unalived, so, and over 30 injured. So definitely sad.
First of all, we do know that the city of New Orleans was impacted by a terrorist attack. It's all still under investigation.
We had this event started at about 3:15. It did involve a man driving a pickup truck down Bourbon Street at a very fast pace, and it was very intentional behavior. This man was trying to run over as many people as he possibly could.
Weapons and potential improvised explosive devices, IEDs, were located in the subject's vehicle. Other potential IEDs were also located in the French Quarter. As of now, 2 IEDs have been found and rendered safe. The FBI Special Agent bomb technicians, as well as our local law enforcement partners, have been working to determine if any of these devices are viable, and they will work to render those devices safe. The FBI, we are working with our partners to investigate this as an act of terrorism. We're aggressively running down all of the leads to identify the possible subject's associates. We're working to ensure that there is no further threat. We do not believe that Jabbar was solely responsible. We are aggressively running down every lead, including those of his known associates. That's why we need the public's help. We are asking if anybody has any interactions with Samsud Dim Jabbar in the last 72 hours that you contact us. The FBI is asking the public's help. We're asking anyone who has information, video, or pictures to provide it to the FBI. We have set up a digital tip line as well as our 1-800 number, 1-800-CALL-FBI. Please provide us with any information that can assist us in this investigation.
I was bartending on Bourbon Street last night. 30 people are hospitalized. 10 people are instantly dead. I think the count is now 12 is dead. Apparently a man purposely started driving into Bourbon Street, purposely hitting people. I was reading a news article that apparently after he hit at people and crashed, he started shooting people. This is like a planned, terrorist attack. People are talking about bombs being planted. I don't know what's true or what's not. Just my heart just feels because I was so close to being near me. I was cut right as it was happening. Imagine if I got cut an hour before, 30 minutes before, maybe 10 minutes before. I cannot take life for granted, but I feel so heavy for those people who just instantly die. I meet the most kindest, coolest people when I'm bartending, and it just breaks my heart that people came to the city to celebrate the new year and this horrible tragedy happened. Pray for New Orleans, guys.
This is a call to action. New Orleans, down there on Bourbon Street, you guys are up. In the wake of everything that happened down there on Bourbon Street in New Orleans, a lot of people have not been accounted for. Destiny Thomas, who is 18 years old, may be a victim in the Bourbon Street incident. She did not have an ID on her, so if you see her, look at her face, look at it really close. If you see her or know that she was down there, please reach out. This was a very, very tragic incident. Everybody's talking about it. I've got 3 or 4 videos up regarding it. But like I said, there are several victims who have not been identified. I think the count now has gone up to 15. And I'm not sure as far as the injured. The injured is between 35 and 40. It could be more than that by the time they finish counting. Again, I want you to look at her face, look at it closely. If you know her and you know she was down there on Bourbon Street, please reach out. There's my email. Reach out to us. Let us know if you happen to see her. So I need police officers, I need EMS, hospitals, people that may have went down there with her. I need for you to reach out. There's my email. Please reach out so I can get a hold of her family and let them know that she's okay or that she's been accounted for, or American Red Cross, anybody down there. If you do happen to see and she looks familiar, reach out to me. I'm going to give you the family's information. Again, this is a call to action. This is boots on the ground. Her name is Destiny Thomas.
4 of at least 15 of the victims have been identified from the attack in New Orleans that happened early this morning. 18-year-old Nakira Dido, a recent graduate from Mississippi, who snuck away with friends to the city, was leaving Voodoo Chicken with her 18-year-old cousin and a friend. They ran to the street in the path of the speeding truck after hearing gunfire ring out. 27-year-old Nicole Perez, who was described as a wonderful mother to her 4-year-old son Mello. She was out with her friends celebrating the new year before she was also struck by the madman. 37-year-old Reggie Hunter, a father of a 12-year-old and 18-month-old. Reggie went out with his cousin after work. Both Reggie and his cousin, Shurel, were both hit by the truck. However, Reggie sadly succumbed to his injuries. 28-year-old Tiger Besh has been identified as the 4th victim. Tiger was a former Princeton football player who was also hit by the truck. He was taken to the hospital and remained on life support until his family arrived. I'll keep you updated as more information comes out. May they rest in peace.
She is actually correct. His name was Shamsuddin Jabbar, and he actually grew up in Texas. Not only that, but come to find out, he actually spent 10 years in the U.S. Army. That being as a human resources specialist and an IT specialist as well. But something about this just doesn't add up. I mean, eventually he became a real estate agent. And as far as I can tell, he seemed like a completely normal individual. Until you notice the kind of flag that he chose to put on his truck while doing this. That's the part that's throwing me off a little bit, and the fact that there was explosive devices that were found inside of the vehicle. Not only that, but officials are also claiming that they found IEDs in the French Quarter as well. And the FBI is now saying that it doesn't think that the driver was solely responsible. Now, like I said earlier, this man was not from New Orleans or Louisiana. So why and how did he mark out that specific path to go into such a busy location? A location where the Sugar Bowl is also supposed to be taking place as well. And if officials are claiming that they located IEDs in the French Quarter, who's to say they're not elsewhere? And honestly, I'm glad that they chose to postpone the game. There's just something about this situation, and it really fucking sucks, man, because I lost a good friend in this incident. And I'm just curious what would cause what seems to be such a normal individual to do something like this. I probably already know the answer, but that's not necessarily something that you can mention on this app. But the fact that it happened on the morning of the first day of the new year just really fucking sucks. My condolences go out to every single family member that was affected by this unfortunate incident. Which, by the way, I really appreciate everybody giving their prayers out to Jeremy's mom. He was one of the individuals, a good friend of mine, that unfortunately lost his life this morning around 3 a.m. And I'm definitely going to be following up on this incident as much as I possibly can, because it just doesn't seem like there's an actual reason as to why this man would actually do this. And if anything, it just makes people not want to go to New Orleans even more. I'm originally from the South. I've been down here on numerous occasions throughout my life, including during Katrina. And I've witnessed New Orleans literally grow into something great just to revert back to its old ways. I've seen the people suffer there. I've seen the thousands of homeless people that live underneath those bridges. But I've also witnessed hope just dwindle away in all of these people's lives, to the point of where so many people in that city just don't want other people to experience happiness. I mean, it's difficult to even feel safe going to a concert in New Orleans now. There's just an eeriness about it, and I know a lot of other individuals feel the same exact way. It just really sucks, man, because this hits so damn close to home.
We heard a pop, 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 pop sound, followed by a sound that sounded like fireworks going off, like a big firework all at once. And it turned out that was the crash. So that pulled us out of bed. Peeked through the curtains to see, what was going on. And at that point, we saw cops all over the place, stacking up, rifles trained on the car. So, peeking through the windows, we kind of backed away to make sure that the situation was okay. Saw the cops telling people in the other buildings, like, stay inside, stay inside.
Good evening. I'm Shamsuddin Jabbar, property manager with Blue Meadow Properties and team lead at the Midas Group at Core Realty. I just want to say hello and let you know a little bit about me. So I'm born and raised in Beaumont, Texas, and now live in Houston. And I've been here all my life, with the exception of traveling for the military, where I spent 10 years as a human resources specialist and IT specialist, where I learned the meaning of great service and what it means to be responsive and take everything seriously, dotting I's and crossing T's to make sure that things go off without a hitch. So I've taken those skills and applied them to my career as a real estate agent, where I feel like what really sets me apart from other agents is my ability to be able to, one, be a fierce negotiator. So not only do I brilliantly market your property to make sure it gets sold as quickly as possible or gets leased as quickly as possible, but I'm also going to take every ounce of energy and putting it into negotiating for you and for your property to get the best deal that you can possibly get for it. So once we get to the closing table, all the I's are going to be dotted, all the T's are going to be crossed, everything's going to go off without a hitch, and that is my word that I'm giving to you as your real estate agent.
Something just doesn't sit right with me out here in New Orleans, not with the way things went down. Because for one, we all know, everyone in the world knows, on New Year's Eve and Mardi Gras, New Orleans is one of the busiest places in the world. And they have blockades, barriers to block off certain streets in the CBD area, which is downtown Bourbon Street area. And this particular night, so say the area he came through, the barriers were being worked on or whatnot. Why would you wait until New Year's not to have barriers? You could have done this weeks or months prior to this. But say, for instance, you did have to work on it. Where were the police cars to sit right there to make sure no one goes through? Doesn't sit well with me. I'm sorry, it's just my opinion. But I also am opinionated about the fact that after they pew him and they start searching his vehicle, they find what they say may be explosive devices in an ice chest or a cooler. And that doesn't sit well at all. Come on, y'all. Y'all start thinking to yourself, because why would you be just driving around with this stuff and you're not going to use it? Would you be driving around with it and then you want to get pew-pew just so people can see it and they go into a panic and a frenzy? If there was things like that in there, don't you think they would have drove to another street that you could drive through if the barriers were there and let it do its thing? A lot of this doesn't make sense, but I'm going to tell you something. To strike fear into the hearts of millions of people, it's very easy for this terrorist thing to start moving. Because the same night, that damn vehicle in front of Trump Tower, it catches on fire. The same night. But this also happened right before the Super Bowl out here. So now they prolonging that. Also saying now that there were 3 male suspects and a female suspect that they're looking for now that could possibly be affiliated with him. This all smells to me like another one of those things where the people are to panic and to get paranoid and start freaking out so that our government can step in and say, hey, we're here to save the day, but we're going to push you all away for a little while we take care of what's going on. I hope I'm wrong. I really hope I'm wrong, but I just can't trust a lot of things they do. And it's sad when all these people losing their lives. This is what's really killing me. People lose their lives for nonsense.
So 1,000 terrorists were supposedly trained for the U.S. and deployed, and 1,000 were supposedly trained for the Europe attack and deployed. The embassy plots are completely different with completely different trained terrorists.
Man, why haven't they hit yet?
Because the training takes the time. So for
they're
Israel,
here. They're here though.
Supposedly, yeah.
Okay,
They got here.
Let me ask, how long have they been here?
I'm not sure, but if we just do math quick, okay? Israel, they trained 500 terrorists, right? They got a longer timeline, but they were planning to train 500 in 3 months, right? 2 months. So they were going to train 500 in 2 months for Israel. So for Israel, they did it really quick, but it would have been half-assed. They luckily ended up with 1.5 years. But then remember, I told you they had to train 10,000 for Syria. And I think that gets completely ignored, okay? So they have this huge number, and we just saw what the effect of it, right? So the 10,000 for Syria, and some went to Iraq, became the priority. And then we think the homeland attackers were in there. And then that's training's done too, if that makes sense. So they are training for multiple phases at the same time. So it takes time to get through all the training.
So the dude from New Orleans got a divorce. Then instead of his whole family, he said that he was joining ISIS. He said that he contemplated between his whole family and joining ISIS, and he decided to do the latter. This is like a crazy story all around. Like, instead of having a midlife crisis like a lot of people that are divorced do and get like a 20-year-old girlfriend in a muscle car, nah, he was called to join ISIS and then drove from Texas to New Orleans to carry out this attack. Yeah, this is a really crazy story, like, all around. CNN evidently has the clips of the video, and it says it's dark, so you can't really see his face. But divorced, and he then decided to join ISIS. I don't really see how one gets divorced and joins ISIS. Like, I don't know, me personally, I would join, like, a men's league and play basketball. Or, I don't know, get a new car, but really sad story all around. That's crazy.
Update in the New Orleans situation. Huh? Update in the New Orleans situation. Now, listen, first of all, the truck was not stolen, okay? Y'all have to understand, especially people who knew in my comments that they just followed me. I'm Smack. Y'all got to understand, when we get the news, we bring it to y'all and we fix it later, okay? So we can stay up to date. The truck was not stolen. It was rented on Turo. First thing, all right? So the actual license plate did match. It wasn't taken off of another vehicle. Second thing, videos are starting to come out that he was a real estate agent. He was in the Army for over 10 years. That's what's flabbergasting to everybody, because people trying to understand wait a minute, why did he do this? Now, as far as ethnicity, I see y'all arguing in the comments. We don't know what he is. If you ask me, I don't care if he is from the Middle East or whatever. I ain't gonna lie. Hearing him talking everything, he looked black to me. I don't know. That's to be determined. Now, this is the most important thing right here. And I want to give y'all this update right here. I had to write this down to make sure I was telling y'all the right information. Right now, police in the North Houston area are telling people, if you are in the North Houston area, try to stay away as much as possible. Why? Because the suspect lives over there. Sidebar, because I don't want y'all to get alarmed. The suspect is unalive. But what I'm saying is, we don't know what the suspect had in his home or what they found when they went inside of that car. So it's nothing to worry about like he's running around. We just trying to make sure we prepare everybody that we want to make sure that no beeps go off or anything like that, okay? Moving on. Now, these are the areas between Hugh Road and Crescent Peak Drive, okay? If you are in this area, please make sure that you tell your loved ones, friends, family members, stay out of the area. We don't know why. FBI has taken this thing over. We don't know if they found something. We don't know if they heard about plans. We don't know if they got a letter from him. We don't know. But all we know is that if you are in that area, please stay safe and make sure that you tell your family and loved ones that are in that area. Once again, North Houston, okay? Now, moving forward with everything else, when we find out something else, I'm going to let you guys know. I'm going to go live probably around 6 o'clock, okay, Eastern Standard Time. And we'll do like a panel on what everybody heard, because I know I got some cousins that's out there in Houston. Hopefully you guys can come up, tell us a little bit about what you heard, and we can go back and forth, all right? I'm just trying to update you guys. If I hear anything else, I'll let you know. I'm just the messenger.